Deep under the rocky surface of planet Xeron, a dark cave hid a secret. Inside that cave, an alien dragon was chained for 200 long years. No one remembered its real name. They only called it the Beast. The chains were thick and made of black stone. Metal, they wrapped around its legs, wings, neck, and tail. The dragon was once strong and wild. Now it lay still, weak and quiet. Its scales had lost their shine. Its eyes, once full of fire, now glowed softly like dying stars. People said the dragon destroyed cities and burned skies. They said it killed millions and had to be stopped. So the rulers of Xeron locked it deep underground. Over time, people forgot the truth. They stopped visiting. The cave became silent. But one night, footsteps echoed through the tunnel, soft, careful, human. A young girl named Kira came alone, holding a steaming bowl in her hands. She was small, maybe 16. Her clothes were patched, and her shoes were worn, but her eyes were bright, brave, kind. She walked through the cold tunnel with slow steps. The glow from her soup lit the path. When she reached the chamber, she stopped. The dragon was awake. Its red eyes opened. It did not growl or roar. It only watched. Kira stood still. "I brought you something," she said. The dragon's voice was deep and cracked like old stone. "No one brings food to monsters." "Not a monster," Kira replied. She walked closer, her hands shaking a little. She placed the bowl near the dragon's front claw. "It's soup," she said. "Vegetable. I made it myself." "Ad!" The dragon stared at her, confused. "Why would you do this?" Kira sat down beside the wall, not too close, but not far either. "Because I've been coming here for a year," she said. "You never looked at me, but I talked anyway. I read you stories, never answered, but still I came. I heard." "You," the dragon said. Its voice was softer now. "I stopped hoping. Long ago." Kira smiled. "Well, I didn't." For a moment, there was silence. Then the dragon slowly dipped one claw into the bowl. It tasted just a drop. Its eyes widened. Warmth, flavor, memory. It had not tasted kindness in 200 years. Suddenly, one of the chains began to glow. A quiet hum filled the air. Steam rose from the metal. A thick black stone-cracked hand melted. Kira stood up. "What's happening?" The dragon looked at its now free leg. "I don't know," it whispered. "The chain. It melted. Was the chain magic?" Kira asked. "Yes," the dragon said. "They used fear and lies to bind me. Maybe your kindness broke the spell." Kira stepped closer, surprised. "All I did was bring you soup." "Sometimes," the dragon said, "the smallest kindness is stronger than the darkest curse." Kira smiled again. "Then I'll bring more." The dragon watched her. The first time in 200 years it felt something warm inside, not fire. Not rage, yet hope. The next night, Kira returned to the cave with another bowl of soup. This time it was thicker, with soft alien noodles and glowing green herbs. The cave was still cold, but something had changed. One of the dragon's legs was free. Its eyes no longer looked empty. "I didn't think you'd come back," the dragon said as Kira entered. She smiled. "I said I would, didn't I?" She placed the bowl down, closer this time. The dragon moved its claw gently and took a sip. It was quiet for a moment, just enjoying the warmth. Then it spoke. "You don't know who I am, do you?" "I know what people say," Kira answered. "They say you burned the sky, destroyed ships, and turned cities to ash." The dragon looked down at the stone. "Do you believe them?" Kira thought for a moment. "I believe your eyes more than their words." The dragon nodded slowly. "Then I will tell you the truth." It took a deep breath, and its voice echoed through the cave like wind in a canyon. "I was once called Sereth, guardian of the star. Nest, I was not a monster. I protected the skies of Xeron. I kept balance between humans and aliens, dragons and machines. But one day the rulers became greedy." "Greedy?" Kira asked. "Yes, they wanted power. They wanted full control of the sky. So they made a story a lie that I turned against them. They said I destroyed a city, but it was them. They used weapons and blamed me." "Why?" Kira's eyes were wide, because I was the last of my kind. They feared what I could do, so they tricked me, chained me, and buried me under the ground. Kira felt a deep sadness in her heart. No one ever told that story. They wouldn't, the dragon said. Truth is dangerous to those who rule with fear. She looked at the remaining chains. There were still many, around its wings, tail, and neck. Each chain glowed faintly, holding centuries of lies and pain. I'm sorry, she said, for what they did to you. The dragon looked at her with calm eyes. You're the first to say that in 200 years. Kira sat down beside him again. How did they even make these chains? They used fear, lies, and a special kind of energy. It reacts to hatred. The more people feared me, the stronger the chains became. Kira thought for a moment. So if people stop fearing you, the chains will break, perhaps the dragon said, but no one listens. Number 1 cares. I care, Kira said. I'll listen. The dragon looked at her closely. Its eyes glowed a little brighter. Then I will tell you everything night by night, story by story, and you tell others? Kira nodded. One day, yes. First, I want to help you be free. Raz. Suddenly, one of the chains around its wings shimmered. Low hum passed. Through the air, the chain cracked, hissed, and then melted away. Kira gasped. That's 2. The dragon smiled. Your kindness, changing the spell. Kira stood up and smiled back. Tomorrow, I'll bring you soup. Again, and maybe a story of my own. The dragon's voice was soft now. Then I will wait for you. And so, a new truth began to grow in the dark cave, one bowl of soup at a time. Night after night, Kira returned to the cave. Each time, she brought a different kind of soup. Mushroom and root, fire leaf and water seed. Some soups were hot and spicy. Some were soft and sweet. The dragon Sirith tasted every drop like it was treasure. Every time Sirith drank the soup, something changed. A chain would glow, tremble, then melt away. One around its wing, one around its tail. One by one, the heavy links of pain were falling. Kira always stayed for a while. She sat on a flat rock near the dragon. She listened. She asked questions. Sarith told her stories. My kind once flew between stars, Sarith said one night. We were the Skybinders. We kept peace among the galaxy worlds. But peace is fragile. Were there other dragons like you? Kira asked. Yes, Sirith replied. But the others were hunted. Some were tricked. Some died in fire. I am the last. Kira felt her chest tighten. It's not fair. No, Sirith said softly. It's not. But you're helping me remember who I was. Not just a prisoner, but a protector. Kira smiled. Then I'll keep coming. One night, Sirith noticed something different in Kira's face. You are tired, he said. Kira nodded. The guards stopped me today. They asked why I keep walking to the cliff caves. What did you say? I told them I liked the view, she said, then laughed. It's not a lie. You're a pretty good view. Sirith gave a small smile. Be careful. Favorite, if they find out the truth, they won't. Kira interrupted. I'm careful. I sneak through the back path. No one sees me enter. Sirith looked at her for a long time. You are brave. But not all humans are kind like you. I know, she said. But someone has to be first. Sirith blinked slowly. Long ago. I believed in peace between humans and dragons. Maybe your kindness is proof that Dream can still live. Then the chain on his neck began to glow. It hissed, cracked, and finally broke. The sound echoed through the cave like a bell. Kira stood up quickly. That was the chain on your throat. Sirith moved his head freely. I can breathe better now, he said. I feel ... lighter. He opened his wings slowly. The tips brushed the cave walls. Dust fell from the ceiling. The cave hadn't seen a full dragon's wingspan in 200 years. Kira watched in awe. You're almost free. 2 chains remain, Sirith said. One on my heart, and one around my soul. They are the hardest to break. Kira looked confused. What do you mean? I don't see any more chains. They are not made of metal, Sirith said. They are made of fear, guilt, memory. Kira took a deep breath. Then I'll stay by your side until those chains break too. You already are, Sirith said. That night, Kira stayed longer than usual. She told Sirith about her life. Her parents were miners, her village was poor, but her heart was full of wonder. She always believed there was more to the world than rules and stories written by rulers. Sirith listened carefully. Her voice reminded him of wind over mountains, calm but strong, and for the first time in 2 centuries, the dragon dreamed. Not of fire, not of chains, but of flying again with a human by his side. Kira kept visiting Sirith every night. Her soups became more special. She even added little notes written on paper leaves. Each note had a kind word or a short joke. The dragon loved them, but something changed on the 7th night, as Kira slipped. Through the back path to the cave, a shadow followed her from a distance. A pair of sharp eyes watched from behind the rocks. Inside the cave, Sirith was waiting. I missed you, he said. Kira smiled. Me too. She placed the soup down and gave him the note. You're not a monster. You're a miracle. Sirith read it, his eyes glowing softer than ever. You always bring more than food, but outside the cave, someone was getting closer. It was Warden Kriv, tall, cold, and loyal to the rulers of Ziron. He had followed Kira. He now stood at the mouth of the cave, listening in silence. When he heard the dragon's voice, his eyes narrowed. He took a step forward but made no sound. Inside, Kira didn't know she was being watched. She sat down near Sarith's claw. You said 2 chains are left, she said. 1 on your heart and 1 on your soul. How can I help?
How?
Looked at her kindly. Just don't stop coming. Kira nodded. Never. Suddenly, a harsh voice shouted, Step away from the beast. Kira jumped up. Sirith raised his head quickly, eyes glowing bright. Who's there? Warden Kriv stepped into the cave holding a stun rod and a scanner. He looked angry, confused, and afraid all at once. I should have known. He barked. The girl with soup? You been feeding the dragon? Kira stood in front of Sirith. He's not a monster. He's not what they told us. Silence. Kriv roared. That thing killed thousands, Sirith growled. A deep rumble that shook the walls. I was betrayed. Your leaders lead. Lies, Kriv snapped. You tricked this girl. You're manipulating her. She came on her own, Sirith said. And I never once hurt her. Kriv raised the stun rod. You are still a danger. I should call the guards and end this now. Kira stepped between him and the dragon. I won't let you. Kriv's hand shook. You're just a child. You don't understand. I understand enough, Kira said. You're afraid of what the truth will do. You're afraid because if the dragon is not evil, then your rulers are? Kriv froze. Then Sirith's voice rumbled again. Let her leave in peace, or I will not stay calm. Kriv backed up slightly, his face pale. Hey, fine, but girl, listen to me. If you return, we'll arrest you. You're breaking the law. Feeding the dragon is treason. He turned and stormed out of the cave. The silence after he left was heavy. Kira sat down slowly. I'm sorry, Sirith shook his head. You did nothing wrong. But now they know, she whispered. What if they destroy this place? What if they come for you? Then I will fight, Sirith said. But I do not wish for war. I only want freedom. Kira looked up at him. Then we have to be careful. We need a plan. Sirith nodded. Tomorrow, bring the soup. But also bring courage. The time of hiding is ending, and at that moment, another chain melted. Not a metal one, but the one around Sarith's heart. It broke silently, but he felt it deeply. The next night, the cave felt different. The air was warmer. The walls seemed to breathe. Dust floated gently, as if the mountain itself was waiting for something. Kira returned with soup in one hand and a blanket in the other. Her heart beat fast. After what happened with Warden Kriv, she knew things were no longer safe. Still, she came. Sirith, the dragon, stood taller than ever. Most of the chains were gone now. Only one remained, glowing faintly over his chest. The chain on his soul. Kira stepped closer. Are you okay? Sirith nodded slowly. Yes, but the world is not. She placed the soup down, then gently touched. His claw. I brought your favorite tonight. Starroot with red spice. The dragon chuckled softly. You remember? He took a sip from the bowl, his sharp eyes glowing gold in the firelight. Your soup is more powerful than magic. Kira smiled. I also brought this, she said, showing the blanket. In case you ever leave this cave? I thought maybe. Dragons get cold too. Sareth stared at the cloth. A gift. For me? Yes, Kira said. Suddenly the last chain shimmered. It did not crack like the others. It pulsed. Then slowly, gently, it faded like a bad dream finally ending. Kira stepped back, eyes wide. It's gone. Sareth stood fully free now. No chains, no curses. His wings stretched out far and wide. Dust rained down from the ceiling as his massive form filled the cave. I am free, he whispered. His eyes glowed bright. Fire returned to his chest. Not fire of war, but of life. Then something incredible happened. Sareth breathed out. Not fire, but light. A golden mist filled the cave. The stone walls changed color. Cracks healed. The ground became warm and alive. You healed the cave, Kira whispered. Sareth nodded. This cave was my prison, but now it is part of me. I leave behind pain, and I take only truth. He walked slowly toward the cave's mouth. For the first time in 200 years, the dragon saw the sky. It was dark blue, filled with stars. Kira stood beside him. She had never felt so small and yet never so brave. Will you fly away now? She asked softly. Sareth looked down at her. No, not yet. I stayed for 200 years. I can wait one more night. Kira smiled. Then I'll stay too, but far away. Back in the city towers, the rulers of Xeron had already received cribs. Report. Their computers showed a warning. Sareth. Status unchained. The leaders panicked. They sent warships toward the cliffs. Hundreds of them. Fast, armed, ready to destroy. Inside the cave, Sareth felt it. A vibration in the ground. He looked at the sky and saw blinking light ships coming. They are afraid, he said. Kira stood beside him, afraid too. They attack you? Yes, Sareth said. They only understand fear, and we'll show them something different, Kira said. Sareth turned his head. What do you mean? I mean, I'll go with you. Wherever you go, you would leave your world. The dragon asked. Kira nodded. This world never felt like home. You do? The dragon's eyes softened. Then climb on. She climbed. Onto his back, holding the edges of the blanket. Outside, the first ships appeared over the ridge. Sareth looked up. His chest glowed, not with fire but with light. They won a war, he said, and I will give them a choice. And then, with one mighty leap, the unchained dragon rose into the sky, Kira riding on his back, arms open to the stars. Sareth flew through the cold night air, his wings wide like a sky bridge. Kira sat safely between his shoulders, wrapped in her blanket. Below them, the world looked small. The stars above were so close, it felt like they could touch them. But behind them, the warships followed. Hundreds of glowing metal birds, humming with power, chasing the last living dragon. They're catching up, Kira said. Sareth didn't answer at first. His eyes were focused, his body calm. The stars reflected in his scales like mirrors. They don't understand, he finally said. They think I'm still chained. Kira looked back at the ships. They're afraid of you. Fear is louder than truth, Sareth said. Maybe it doesn't have to be. The warships sent a warning blast. A bright red beam shot through the sky, missing them by inches. Kira gasped. They're trying to scare you. They're trying to erase me, Sareth said, but instead of fighting. Sareth flew upward, higher and higher toward the thick clouds above the mountains. Inside the lead warship, Commander Vrax watched the screen. Target is ascending, one soldier said. Prepare plasma cannons, Vrax ordered. Back on Sereths. Back. Kira had an idea. Can I say something to them? She asked. Sereth nodded. Yes, I can give you voice. He opened his mouth not to roar, but to release a soft pulse of sound. It traveled to the warships and echoed into their communication systems. Inside every ship, Kira's voice came through the speakers. My name is Kira. I am not a soldier. I'm just a girl who brought soup to a dragon. All the pilots froze. This dragon is not your enemy. He didn't destroy your cities. Didn't ask for war. He was locked away and forgotten for 200 years. And I saw the truth in his eyes. He only wants peace. Commander Vrax gritted his teeth. Turn off that feed. But the signal couldn't be blocked. It was wrapped in Sereth's voice older than their machines. Kira continued. If you fire on him, you are not protecting peace. You are protecting a lie. Some pilots looked at each other. Some even lowered their hands from the controls. One soldier whispered, Is this true? Another asked, Are we the monsters? In the sky, Sereth kept flying. His wings glowed now, not with fire but with hope. Kira looked down at the glowing cities far below. Do you think they'll stop? Sereth nodded slowly. Some already have. Behind them, several warships slowed down. Their lights dimmed, their engines turned off. They hovered quietly, no longer hunting. But the lead ship didn't stop. Commander. Brack shouted, Fire! End it! One ship shot a plasma bolt. Sereth turned sharply in the air and protected Kira with his wing. The bolt hit his scales, but instead of burning, it bounced off and exploded in the sky like fireworks. Sereth's body now glowed gold, brighter than before. Something had awakened deep inside him. Soul was no longer chained. He opened his mouth and breathed out not fire, not smoke, but a powerful wave of light. It passed through the ships like wind. When it touched them, their weapons shut down. Their engines cooled. Their fear began to fade. In the lead ship, Commander Vrax watched his screen go dark. Then the walls around him began to glow softly. Warmth filled the ship. What is this? He whispered. Kira's voice echoed again. It's peace, if you let it in. Back in the sky, Sereth hovered in silence. The warships didn't follow. The world had just seen something greater than war. The warships had stopped chasing Sereth. One by one, the lights dimmed and the engines cooled. The sky was quiet now. Filled with stars and hope, Kira held tight to Sereth's scales as they soared above the clouds. Below them, the world looked small and peaceful. For the first time in 200 years, the dragon felt free, not just from chains, but from fear. We have a choice now, Sereth said softly. A new path. Kira smiled. A path where humans and dragons can live together. Sereth looked at her. Do you think they will believe it? I don't know, Kira said, but they will see that peace is stronger than fear. The dragon's wings beat slow and steady. The air around them shimmered with light. The old wounds in his heart had healed. The last chains were gone. Suddenly, the silence was broken by a soft sound, a child's laughter. Far below, a small village lay under the stars. Children played outside, their faces full of wonder and joy. They looked up at the sky and saw the golden light. One little girl pointed and said, Look, a dragon. Kira smiled. Maybe one day all children will see dragons not as monsters but as friends. Saritha's eyes glowed warmly. And maybe one day they will tell stories of the girl who brought soup and the dragon who chose peace. Dragon and the girl flew higher, leaving the world below. They reached the edge of the atmosphere where stars shone bright and endless. Kira looked at the vast space ahead. Where will we go now? Sereth spread his wings wide. Wherever the sky takes us. Together they soared into the unknown, a new family of light and hope. And so, the last alien dragon, free after 200 years, and the brave human girl who believed in kindness, began a new journey, one that would change the galaxy forever. The end.